This section introduces the problem, determining compatibility based on versions of scikit-learn and related packages. It sets the stage for the quiz by presenting the context of using to get version information. We're going to analyze the output to answer some questions about compatibility. Sounds fun, right? This line introduces the actual output from the function. This output, shown in the next line, is the data we'll use to solve the quiz. It's important to understand that this function displays installed versions, not compatibility assessments. This line is a header indicating the start of the version information. It separates the title from the actual list of versions. The following lines will show us what versions of important packages are installed. This line shows the versions of 4 key packages used in many machine learning projects. Notice how each package name is followed by a colon in its version number. These are the numbers we will be comparing to determine the answer. Remember, these are just the versions, not any sort of compatibility guarantees. This introduces the actual quiz questions based on the package version information just shown. We are asked to determine which statement about those versions is true. This line sets the context for the multiple choice questions that follow. Each option will make a claim about the versions we just saw, and our task is to decide which claims are accurate. Let's look at the options one by one. This is the first multiple choice option. It claims that scikit-learn version 1.2.2 is compatible with Python 3.9. But remember, the output only provides version numbers, not compatibility information between different software. This is the second multiple choice option. It claims that the NumPy version is older than the SciPy version. To answer this, compare the NumPy version, 1.23.5, and the SciPy version, 1.10.1. This is the third multiple choice option. It states that the Pandas and SciPy versions are compatible, given the assumption in the parenthesis. It is true based on the provided information that we must assume compatibility between Pandas and SciPy because the question specifically requests to assume so. This is the final multiple choice option. It suggests that the version information shows there are no compatibility issues. However, keep in mind that the function simply shows versions. It does not assess compatibility directly. This problem presents a snippet of output from a function used to check the versions of different Python packages in a machine learning project. The goal is to assess which statements about the displayed package versions are true. It's designed to test your ability to interpret version numbers and assess potential compatibility issues, though direct compatibility isn't explicitly stated in the output. This line displays the versions of 4 key Python packages: scikit-learn 1.2.2, SciPy 1.10.1, NumPy 1.23.5, and Pandas 1.5.3. These versions are the foundation for evaluating the truth of the multiple choice statements that follow. Notice how each package name and version are presented consecutively. This statement is true based on the problem's assumption that Pandas and SciPy version compatibility isn't a problem, regardless of what the actual version numbers are. The question focuses on the interpretation of the given data, with the compatibility aspect between those specific packages being conveniently simplified by the problem itself for the purpose of the assessment. This section introduces the goal: to check the compatibility of different scikit-learn packages using the output from. It sets the stage for the subsequent multiple choice questions. This is like setting the scene before a detective story, giving the context to investigate. This line describes the source of the information used to answer the quiz questions. The output from provides version numbers for several packages: scikit-learn, SciPy, NumPy, and Pandas. Think of it as the crucial evidence in our detective story. This line shows the actual output from the function. It gives the version numbers for various Python packages which are needed for the quiz questions. It's the evidence itself. Let's analyze it carefully. Here, the type of question is revealed. It's a multiple choice question, testing the understanding of package version compatibility based on the provided information. It's time to put your detective skills to the test. This is the first multiple choice option. It explores the compatibility of scikit-learn with a specific Python version. However, the presented information only shows the versions of packages, not their compatibility with a specific Python version. The second multiple choice option compares NumPy and SciPy version numbers. It tests the ability to correctly interpret version numbers to determine which one is newer. The third option focuses on the compatibility of pandas and SciPy. Note that the problem statement already mentions to assume compatibility is not an issue between these two packages. The final option examines whether the output definitively confirms no compatibility problems. This tests the understanding that only displays version numbers, not a compatibility analysis. Let's dive into the core of the quiz. We need to assess package compatibility based on version numbers shown from output. The goal is to determine which statements about the versions of scikit-learn, SciPy, NumPy, and pandas are true. It's all about careful version comparison and understanding what the output tells us, and what it doesn't. This is our multiple choice question. We're given 4 statements, A through D, each making a claim about package compatibility or version relationships. Our task is to use the given version information to assess the truthfulness of each statement. Statement C focuses on pandas and SciPy. The question conveniently tells us to ignore any potential compatibility issues between these two packages. Therefore, the only factor to consider is whether the versions of pandas and SciPy are shown in the output. If both versions are present, the statement is true. This statement asserts that the output of guarantees the absence of compatibility problems. However, that is incorrect. The function only shows the installed versions. It doesn't analyze compatibility between those versions. Incompatible versions could still cause errors during runtime. Statement addresses compatibility between scikit-learn and Python 3.9. This is a tricky one. We have the scikit-learn version, but we lack information about the Python version being used. Therefore, we cannot definitively say whether it is compatible with Python 3.9. Statement B compares the versions of NumPy and SciPy. We need to look up their version numbers in the output. The comparison shows that NumPy's version is newer than SciPy's version, making this statement false. This section displays the versions of several key Python packages used in a machine learning project. Specifically, it shows the versions of scikit-learn, SciPy, NumPy, and pandas. These versions are crucial for understanding potential compatibility issues. Knowing the versions allows us to assess if different libraries are compatible with each other. This is important because using incompatible versions can lead to errors or unexpected behavior in your code. Think of it like building with Legos. You need pieces of the correct size and shape to fit together properly. This indicates that the version of the scikit-learn library installed is 1.2.2. Scikit-learn is a powerful machine learning library in Python. This version number helps identify and debug problems later. This shows that the SciPy library, a fundamental scientific computing package in Python, is at version 1.10.1. SciPy works hand in hand with NumPy and is often used for tasks like numerical integration and optimization. This line shows that the NumPy library, which provides support for large, multi-dimensional arrays and matrices, is at version 1.23.5. NumPy is the backbone of many Python scientific computing packages, including SciPy and scikit-learn. It's the fundamental building block for numerical calculations in Python. This specifies that the pandas library, which is excellent for data manipulation and analysis, is currently at version 1.5.3. Pandas provides data structures like data frames that are essential for data wrangling and cleaning, preparing it for machine learning algorithms. Imagine a spreadsheet program but for Python. That's pandas. This section introduces a multiple-choice question designed to assess understanding of the package versions and potential compatibility issues. The question is designed to test the ability to interpret version information and determine potential compatibility concerns. This question prompts you to analyze the information provided about the installed packages to select true statements among the given choices. This tests your ability to interpret version information correctly. This option tests whether you understand that the provided version information doesn't directly indicate Python version compatibility. The output focuses solely on package versions. This option assesses whether you can correctly compare version numbers to determine which package has a newer version. This tests your numerical comparison skills in the context of software versions. This option checks your understanding of the provided information and the instruction to assume compatibility between the specified packages despite the version numbers. This highlights the importance of explicitly stated assumptions. This option assesses whether you understand the limitations of the _sklearn show_versions output. The function only presents installed versions, not a compatibility analysis. This line indicates that the following section of the output from shows the versions of several Python packages installed on the system. These versions are important to check for potential compatibility issues. It is setting the stage for the following lines. This line shows that the version of the package installed is 1.2.2. Scikit-learn is a popular machine learning library in Python. This line shows that the version of the scientific Python package installed is 1.10.1. SciPy provides many useful scientific computing tools. This line indicates that Numerical Python, a fundamental package for numerical computation in Python, is installed in version 1.23.5. NumPy is a core dependency for many scientific Python libraries, including scikit-learn and SciPy. This line displays the installed version of a powerful data analysis and manipulation library for Python. The version shown is 1.5.3.